Hi everyone, my name is Yan. Today I'll be talking about two teaching theories and two teaching pedagogies. There will be social cultural theory and constructivism theory, and explicit teaching and inquiry-based teaching. First, let's start with the social cultural theory. Long states that the social cultural theory was proposed by Russian psychologist Lev Vygotsky, which emphasized social interaction and community in cognitive development. Feiner and Lantov state that the key concept implying the theory into teaching is the zone of proximal development, which is the difference between what the learners could accomplish independently and what they can achieve with the guidance of more knowledgeable others. Smagorinsky suggested that when applying the social cultural theory into math class, teachers should encourage students to solve problems through collaborative talks. Moreover, teachers need to identify the zone of proximal development of students and provide scaffolding support to deepen their mathematical understandings. Social cultural theory supports diverse learners and advances their knowledge through dialogue, but is heavily dependent on teachers' skill to identify the ZPD of each student and tailor the scaffolding support. Also, the group discussion could be easily auto-focused without proper structure. Armin found constructivism was formulated by psychologist Jean Piaget, who believes that learners obtain knowledge from prior experiences rather than passive receiving information. Bada and Olusegun also suggested learners to build their knowledge through experience and the reflection on those experiences. They also believe that in teaching mathematics, constructivism teaching is more focused on problem-based tasks, motivate learners to explore and assess what was known, guide them to find answers or formulas, and encourage them to reflect on and talk about how their understanding changed. Teachers need to understand learners' pre-existing knowledge and build new knowledge on it. Constructivism could encourage the independent and reflective learners, but for students with weak prior knowledge, they may struggle without enough support. Now let's talk about pedagogies. Let's start with explicit teaching. Stockyard found that explicit teaching doesn't have a single founder. Direct instruction was formulated by C.L. Fred in 1960, but the widely used I do, we do, you do method was codified by Anita Archer and Charles Hughes. Archer and Hughes stated that explicit teaching is often associated with a series of direct instructions and scaffolding support, which means the learning intentions will be broken down into manageable subunits based on learners' cognitive capabilities. Initially, teacher will provide demonstrations, then step-by-step guidance. Once learner success are achieved, teachers will withdraw the support and allow students to work independently. Hughes believes that in teaching, especially procedural skills, such as introducing new formulas, solving equations or algorithms, explicit teaching will be very effective. For beginners, cognitive overload will be effectively reduced, but learner may become heavily dependent on teachers' instructions, which will limit their creativity and exploration thinking. Inquiry-based learning. Artig and Blomold state that inquiry-based learning was founded by philosopher of education John Dewey, who believes that knowledge will be learned through questions, explorations, and discoveries. Lazander and Hampson believe that during the learning process, students will act as scientists and perform self-directed investigations. In math class, instead of providing formulas, students will be given real-world data and encouraged to conduct research and surveys and explore the patterns. Inquiry-based learning prompts the interest of learning, motivate learners' critical thinking and problem-solving skills, and well-structured lesson plans. But without sufficient guidance, the learning outcome varies. Now, here come to the end. Thanks everyone. Any questions?